Absolutely. So let us begin with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, because when people think of a true Hollywood power couple, they often imagine these two stars who have managed to balance blockbuster careers with a partnership that feels playful. Genuine and inspiring to fans all around the world, Blake Lively first rose to fame with her role as Serena van der Woodsen on Gossip Girl, where her elegance, her charm, and her natural screen presence turned her into a fashion icon almost overnight. Her red carpet looks became staples in magazines, and her collaborations with top designers only elevated her status as a trendsetter. But what people loved most was that behind the glamour, she always radiated warmth and relatability. She has been open about her love for family, her passion for baking, and her dedication to using her platform for good, including her involvement in numerous charity initiatives from child welfare programs to environmental causes. She has often emphasized that success means little if it is not shared with others. And then on the other side, we have Ryan Reynolds, who has shown the world that wit and sincerity can create one of the most beloved personalities in Hollywood. His career began with television and smaller films before exploding into global recognition with his hilarious, charismatic, and deeply human portrayal of Deadpool, a role that not only broke box office records, but also cemented him as a fan favorite because he embraced imperfection, sarcasm, and sincerity all at once. Ryan is known not only for his acting, but also for his entrepreneurial ventures, like Aviation Gin and Mint Mobile, as well as his philanthropy. He has supported children's hospitals, cancer research, and numerous community initiatives, often choosing to donate quietly rather than make grand announcements together. Blake and Ryan have made fans laugh with their playful back and forth on social media, sometimes poking fun at one another but always radiating affection and admiration. Their story becomes the perfect opening chapter in this long journey through the world of celebrities, because it shows that behind the lights, cameras, and headlines, there are real people balancing careers, family, and values. And this balance is a theme that runs through the stories of so many stars around the world. Take, for example, Justin Baldoni, who many know from Jane the Virgin, but who has become just as renowned for his work off-screen, encouraging men to embrace vulnerability and emotional honesty through his series, Man Enough, and his books. Justin has become a voice for empathy, compassion, and courage, blending celebrity with advocacy in a way that touches fans deeply. And then consider Taylor Swift, whose journey from a teenage country singer strumming a guitar to becoming one of the most powerful voices in global pop is nothing short of extraordinary. Her songwriting has always been her superpower, turning personal experiences into universal anthems. And connecting with fans on the deepest levels, her Eras Tour is more than a concert. It is a cultural event that celebrates reinvention, self-expression, and storytelling. She has faced scrutiny, criticism, and challenges, yet each time she has risen, stronger, reclaiming her narrative and standing as an icon for resilience and creativity. And when we move from music to the silver screen, someone like Leonardo DiCaprio stands tall. His career from Titanic to Inception to The Revenant has shown his versatility and brilliance. But what makes his story even richer is his unwavering commitment to protecting the environment through his foundation. He has supported global conservation efforts, raised awareness about climate change, and spoken on the world's largest stages to inspire action. His legacy is not only about film, but about responsibility. And when we pivot to Lady Gaga, we see a journey fueled by boldness, authenticity, and empowerment. Her music videos, performances, and acting, roles like her Oscar-winning Turn in a Star is Born, show her limitless artistry, but equally important is her advocacy for kindness, inclusion, and mental health through the Born This Way Foundation. She has created a movement that empowers young people to embrace who they are and build communities of support, and love stories like these remind us that celebrities are not just entertainers. They are catalysts for change, visionaries who use their platforms to inspire, uplift, and connect. And as we continue this journey, the tapestry of fame expands with more voices, more stories, and more lessons to share, each one offering something unique and unforgettable. And as we keep weaving this vast and fascinating story, it becomes clear that the world of celebrities is not simply about glamour, but about impact and purpose, because alongside Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Justin Baldoni, Taylor Swift, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Lady Gaga, we find other icons whose journeys continue to inspire and resonate with millions around the globe, like Oprah Winfrey, whose rise from humble beginnings to becoming the queen of talk shows, and a billionaire media mogul is the ultimate story of resilience, empathy, and vision. Her ability to connect with audiences on a deep emotional level transformed television forever. But even beyond her career, she has built schools, empowered communities, and supported countless charitable causes, proving that true success lies in lifting others up. And then there is Keanu Reeves, who is beloved not only for his roles in the Matrix and John Wick franchises, but for his humility, his generosity, and his ability to stay grounded in an industry often known for excess. Countless stories of him giving quietly to children's hospitals, funding crews behind the scenes, and showing small acts of kindness have turned him into a living example of how fame can coexist with deep humanity. And when we look at Selena Gomez, we find another star who has used her journey to create hope and healing. She started as a Disney star but blossomed into a global singer, actress, and entrepreneur. Her rare beauty brand emphasizes self-acceptance and supports mental health initiatives through the Rare Impact Fund. She has openly shared her struggles with lupus and mental health, showing fans that vulnerability is not weakness, but a powerful form of connection. Demi Lovato has walked a similar path of courage, transforming personal challenges into advocacy and music that speaks to healing, resilience, and rebirth. Their willingness to share the darkest and brightest parts of their journey has given fans around the world strength to face their own struggles. And then Miley Cyrus adds her own unique note to this symphony of celebrity stories, moving boldly from Hannah Montana to a fearless artist whose voice and foundation, the Happy Hippie Project, focus on supporting LGBTQ youth and fighting homelessness. Her fearless reinventions show us that growth is a continuous process, and that authenticity is the greatest gift an artist can share. And from pop to sports, we find equally powerful stories in figures like Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, who, though rivals on the field, have used their influence to support children's hospitals, disaster relief, and educational projects worldwide. Their rivalry shows us excellence in competition, but their philanthropy proves that true greatness is measured by impact off the field as well. Serena Williams stands as another towering example of inspiration. Her dominance on the tennis court made her a legend, but her advocacy for gender equality, racial justice, and her journey into motherhood and entrepreneurship have made her a role model whose influence stretches far beyond sport. LeBron James mirrors this through his achievements on the basketball court, but even more so through his I Promise school in Akron, Ohio, where he has created opportunities for children and families, showing how a star athlete can transform an entire community. These stories remind us that celebrity is not just about being seen, but about seeing others and helping them rise. And as we continue our exploration, we find even more stars whose lives prove that fame is most meaningful when it is connected to purpose, compassion, and courage. And as this unfolding journey continues, we see how global icons add even more color and inspiration to the story, because when we think about Rihanna, her career reflects what it means to reinvent yourself over and over again. She began as a teenager from Barbados with a dream and rose to become one of the best-selling artists of all time, with hits that have become cultural landmarks. But she did not stop there. She built Fenty Beauty and Savage X Fenty into empires that changed industries by embracing inclusivity, body, positivity, and diversity. She showed that fashion and beauty can be for everyone, and her Clara Lionel Foundation has brought education and disaster relief to communities in need, proving that her success is about more than music. It is about vision and purpose. And then we turn to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, whose energy, charisma, and resilience have made him one of the most recognizable figures on the planet, from wrestling arenas to blockbuster films. His journey is marked by determination and discipline, yet his ability to remain relatable and motivating to his fans is what truly sets him apart. He uses social media to spread positivity, shares stories of his challenges and triumphs, and constantly reminds us that strength is not only measured in muscles, but in kindness and perseverance. In another corner of the entertainment world, Shakira has carved her own unique path with her signature voice, her iconic dancing, and her global influence. Her Super Bowl halftime performance with Jennifer Lopez was a celebration of culture and unity, and beyond the stage, her bare feet Foundation has given thousands of children access to education in Colombia and beyond. Her story shows how artistry and activism walk hand in hand. And speaking of Jennifer Lopez, her career demonstrates the power of reinvention, from her early acting roles to music superstardom to being a fashion icon and a savvy businesswoman. She has proven that relevance comes from passion, hard work, and courage. Her performances defy age stereotypes, and her advocacy for Latino representation in Hollywood has broken barriers for many others. And when we look to Bollywood, Deepika Padukone stands as one of the most influential actresses, not only because of her talent on screen, but also because of her honesty in sharing her experiences with depression and creating the Live Love Laugh Foundation. Her voice has helped reduce stigma around mental health, and her story reminds us that vulnerability can coexist with strength. Priyanka Chopra Jonas too represents a global bridge between cultures conquering Bollywood and Hollywood while championing representation and serving as a UNICEF ambassador. She proves that boundaries are only as strong as the courage we give them. And then we look at figures like Pharrell Williams, whose creativity stretches across music, fashion, and philanthropy. His joyful anthem Happy became a global phenomenon. But his legacy includes educational projects and innovative design that show how artistry can spark real-world impact. And Billie Eilish adds another layer to this tapestry. Her rise from a teenager making music at home with her brother to winning multiple Grammys shows the power of authenticity. Her unique style, her candid conversations about mental health, and her advocacy for sustainability prove that even the youngest stars can be leaders in shaping culture and change. And these stories from Rihanna to Billie remind us again that the world of celebrities is a stage not only for entertainment, but for transformation, where each star adds their own light to a collective story of resilience, creativity, and purpose. And as we continue to explore this constellation of remarkable lives, we arrive at Beyoncé, whose artistry transcends music to become cultural history. Her Coachella performance redefined what live shows could mean, turning it into a celebration of Black excellence, heritage, and resilience. Every album she releases feels like a global event. Yet beyond the spotlight, she uses her influence to create scholarships, support hurricane relief, and elevate underrepresented voices, proving that her legacy is about empowerment as much as artistry. And beside her, Jay-Z stands as both partner and pioneer. His path from the streets of Brooklyn to global business mogul demonstrates how vision, determination, and creativity can transform not just a career, but entire industries through Roc Nation streaming ventures and philanthropy focused on criminal justice reform. Jay-Z has shown that hip-hop is not only music, but a platform for change. And then there is Zendaya, who has become one of the brightest lights of her generation, from her Disney beginnings to her Emmy-winning role in Euphoria. She has navigated fame with elegance, courage, and authenticity. Her collaborations with designers have turned red carpets into statements of inclusivity and originality, and her ability to use her voice to champion self-love and representation has made her a role model for millions. And when we look to the world of K-pop, we find BTS, whose story is one of perseverance, creativity, and unity. Rising from a small entertainment company in South Korea to global icons, they have brought messages of self-love and mental health awareness to fans worldwide. Their army is not just a fan base, but a community inspired by their values. Their donation to UNICEF and their voices at the United Nations prove that music is a universal language of hope. And alongside them, Blackpink has blazed trails of their own with fierce performances, global tours, and fashion influence. Their impact reaches far beyond music because they inspire young fans to embrace ambition, individuality, and strength. And when we turn back to Western pop culture, Madonna emerges as the ultimate symbol of reinvention across decades. She has pushed boundaries, challenged conventions, and remained an icon of self-expression, while also advocating for LGBTQ rights and humanitarian causes. And then we have Adele, whose voice carries the weight of raw human emotion. Her songs tell stories of heartbreak, healing, and growth. And her ability to turn vulnerability into universal anthems makes her one of the most relatable and admired artists of her generation. Her journey from a London upbringing to global stardom is proof that sincerity and talent will always rise. And when we speak of legacy in film, no name shines brighter than Meryl Streep. Her countless roles showcase unmatched talent. Her humility and grace set a standard for what it means to be a true artist, and her influence spans generations of actors and audiences alike, while in a different way. Angelina Jolie has blended film with humanitarianism, using her fame to spotlight refugee crises and advocate for those whose voices often go unheard. Her work on and off screen illustrates the depth of what it means to use celebrity as a force for good and across the world. Shah Rukh Khan has proven that cinema has no borders. His rise from humble beginnings in Delhi to being hailed as the king of Bollywood is a story of relentless hard work, charm, and vision. His philanthropic efforts, his wit, and his humility have endeared him to millions. And alongside him, legends like Amitabh Bachchan remind us that longevity comes from passion, discipline, and constant reinvention. Together, all of these stories highlight how fame, while dazzling, is also deeply human, grounded in resilience, in service, and in the power to inspire. And as this long journey through the glittering yet deeply human world of celebrities reaches its final stretch, We begin to see how all these threads weave into one grand tapestry that reflects not only their lives, but also our own dreams and hopes. Because when we look at Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, we see a couple who balance playfulness with purpose, using humor, love, and philanthropy to remind fans that fame is best when shared with joy. And when we think of Justin Baldoni, we see a man who teaches that strength is found in kindness and vulnerability, while Taylor Swift shows that reinvention. And storytelling can turn personal struggles into global anthems. And Leonardo DiCaprio reminds us that art can fuel activism and that the spotlight can shine on causes bigger than ourselves. Lady Gaga embodies the power of boldness and compassion, proving that authenticity changes culture, while Oprah Winfrey demonstrates that empathy can build empires and Keanu Reeves that humility can touch millions. And then there are voices like Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato, and Miley Cyrus, whose willingness to share struggles transforms pain into healing for countless fans across the world. Athletes like Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Serena Williams, and LeBron James remind us that greatness lies not only in victories, but in giving back and shaping communities, while icons like Rihanna, Jennifer Lopez, Shakira, and Dwayne Johnson prove that reinvention and hard work can create limitless legacies. Global stars like Deepika Padukone, Priyanka Chopra, Shah Rukh Khan, and BTS show us that culture, art, and hope transcend borders, while visionaries like Pharrell Williams, Billie Eilish, Adele, Madonna, and Zendaya highlight the beauty of authenticity, diversity, and courage. And finally, figures like Beyoncé, Jay-Z, Angelina, Jolie, Meryl Streep, and countless others teach us that legacy is not about perfection, but about using talent, voice, and influence to uplift others. When we stitch these stories together, it becomes clear that celebrities are not simply stars in the night sky, but guiding lights whose brilliance is rooted in resilience, compassion, and creativity. They inspire us to dream bigger, to rise after failure, to embrace who we are, and to make our own impact on the world. And maybe that is why we never tire of their stories, because in their triumphs and struggles, we see reflections of ourselves and the reminder that each of us has the power to leave a legacy that shines just as brightly. Whether you're here for fashion, fan love, motivational journeys, or just to feel inspired by the lives of your favorite stars, this is the documentary-style story you won't want to pause. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories behind the stars.